guys, it's Alex from Alex's Creative Corner here. This video is going to be the second addition to my Mini Wings of Fire Dragon series. And in this tutorial we will be making the SeaWing, and I'm going to be showing how to make Auklet, Princess Auklet. My prototype was Anemone, her sister, or one of the many sisters. I don't really like the colors that much, but that's just her colors. I'll probably like Auklet a lot more because it's all these different greens and I like green. So we're not starting out with the head this time because she does have a fin that goes along her back, which we need to make first because some of it is going to go like on the neck. So I'll tell you what to do. We're taking 2 at a time of the Persian Peridot bands. This is what they look like. So we're taking 2 at a time, so 2 from the middle row to the side row, and we're going to skip a peg, and then here 2, and then skip a peg, 2, skip 2, skip 2, skip 2, skip 2. So it's like 2 there, skip, 2 there, skip, 2 there, skip, 2 there. So that's what it's like. Now we're going to make some spikes, some spike ridge things with the Persian Peridot bands. So get your hook, wrap a peridot band around 4 times, creating a cap band, double loop 1, and pull on the cap band. Actually you don't need to reclaim it. Hold so there's 2 loops on your hook, 2 on your finger. You can put 2 on that peg right there, and then 2 onto that peg. So it looks like that. You want to go ahead and make 11 more, so it's 12 in all. I've made those on here. So I'm going to start to attach them, 1 for each of these. And there's also more spikes than there are of these things, because this is only half of it. We're going to make another portion to make the fin longer. So I'm just putting them on, just like I did with the first one. 2 loops go onto that top row, and then 2 go into the middle row. And then this, the last one for this portion of the fin goes on to these pegs. So now I'm taking the neon green. This is what it's called. It's not really neon, it's just like a light green. It's the lightest one. It's lighter than the lime green. Sometimes I get them mixed up. But taking 2 neon green from this middle peg at the end, diagonally downwards to that bottom peg, diagonally upwards, and then downwards and upwards. It's really repetitive. We're just going to keep doing that. Yeah. So it's basically a smaller version of the fin that I did on my medium dragon SeaWing, because this dragon is, of course, smaller. So now that I did all those, I am going to, I'm going to take 2 bands, or actually no, I'm not. I'm going to take get your hook, get a neon green, wrap it around 4 times is good, and then take 2 neon green, pull that on and reclaim. I'm gonna put this onto this middle end peg like that, and then I'm gonna dig down a little bit and grab the top 2 bands, which are 2 neon that go like that, and then go into here, loom up those bottom 2, top 2 neon, the 2 neon, top 2 neon, 2 2 neon. Oh, it came off a little bit. It doesn't really matter. You can put it back because it's not really an end. 2 neon. It came off again. And there. Oh, I forgot one thing. So here, this is 4 neon bands. Lift them up really quick. And then lay 2 neon bands on there. And then you can replace those 4. Like that. So go under the 4 and grab the 2 there. You can hold the loops on the outside like that. But then go in here and grab the 2. Loom them, basically. And then you have 2 loops on your hook and then 2 are on your fingers. Put it so they're all 4 loops are on your hook. You can tie off this end with a random colored band. I'm just going to use red, tying it off. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the beginning. And you see on this very top peg how there's 2 loops up there. I'm going to lift up those 2 loops and put them down onto that peg. Then dig down to the bottom and loom up the bottom 2 peridot bands. Now I'm going to go over here, bring these 2 loops over, go to the bottom, loom these 2 bands. And we're just going to do that all the way. So, looming up the bottom 2. And then the last one, looming that. Okay, so now we're pretty much finished with this portion. The only thing we need to do now is tie off the ends, but we don't tie off all the ends. Only tie off the ones with the Persian Peridot. So every other peg of these ones. So if you don't understand that, just watch what I'm doing. I'm not tying off the first ones that we loomed. I'm not tying off those neon ones. So I'm just skipping every peg. So I tied off that last end, and now we're going to gently take this. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's gently at all, I guess, but I'm going to grab that cap band. It might be easier, or not. I'm just going to take this off the loom. So here's one part of it, of the fin. Let me see something. Yeah, so we're gonna keep going. So the same thing pretty much, but we don't start on the end. Put two peridot bands on these 2 pegs from the middle to here. Skip to there, skip to there, skip to there, skip to there, or skip and then to there. And then there's 3 empty rows at the end. So now I'm gonna take oh yeah, we still have 5 we have 5 spikes left. So we're gonna attach them on just like we did on the first part of the fin. So 2 loops go in that top row, and 2 go in that middle. Okay, so now I'm going to take 2 neon. So here's the last one. It's right here. I'm going to go to the set one past it, diagonally down, or diagonally upwards to it. And then I'm going to go from there down. I'm just going to keep going. So diagonally up, and then down, and then up again, down again, down, up, and then the last one that goes down. So now you're going to take your first fin, and this end set right here that we tied off, it's 4 neon loops. Take off the tying band and put that onto this bottom peg, onto those neon. And now we're going to start looming, so dig down, grab those bottom 2, loom up, top 2 neon, and yes, it keeps coming off, just put it back. 2 neon, 2 neon, 2 neon. And then we're going to get these top 2 and pull them down, dig down, loom up the bottom 2. Move those 2 loops over here, loom up the bottom 2. And then the last one. So we're going to start off, we're tying off this end. That's the only neon one that we're tying off, and the rest we're only tying off the peridots. So tying that off, tying off the peridot, and then you're only going to tie off that one, that one, that one, and that one. Sorry if there's noise again in the background. So I'm going to tie off that set of peridot. I'm going to tie off this one. Sorry again if there's loud noise. I don't know if y'all can hear it, like from the from my phone recording. So yeah, tie that off. I'm tying that off, and yeah, that's the whole rest of the fin. So I'm going to take this off of the loom. So here's the whole fin. No more parts. So now we're going to make the head and neck. So I'll tell you what to do. So make your loom in the, so it looks like an arrow. I forgot what you call it, but the middle row is moved upwards 1. So going from the 4th peg in the middle, 2 peridot, 2 peridot again, and then double looped peridot all the way down. Go from the 5th peg from the bottom on both sides. You can do a double looped, it's a solar band, I think it's Uranus. I think that's what it's called. It's like a lighter green. It'll be in the band count. So double loop 1 on both sides, and then double loop a dark green on both sides, and then go 3 times down, double looping a Persian Peridot, and then 3 times with double looping a dark green, and then 2 dark green diagonal, and 2 dark green diagonal again. Sorry if I was going really fast. You can pause it and do it now. And taking a Persian Peridot, capping off this end right here, 5 loops or 4 if you want. So now we're gonna do the holding bands. So I'm gonna take a dark green, double looping it, bringing it in a triangle across there. Now I'm gonna be double looping Persian Peridot across there, across there, double loops. There. And then now I'm going to do, right here, I'm just going to do the solar band, the green solar band right there. And then the other two, I'm just going to do dark green. So double looped dark green here and here. Now, so I was just wrapping it around that peg twice and then pulling it across. It's just an easier way for me to double loop it. So now we're gonna make the eyes the hardest part. It has to happen at some point. So taking Persian Peridot, this is the eyelid, wrap it around 4 times on your hook, double loop a Persian Peridot, Persian Peridot. Pull on that cap band, and now I'm just gonna make her eyes blue, even though they're actually a shade of green. Because I want to use the alpha band, it's just easier. And I don't have green alpha bands. So I'm going to take an alpha band, put it on there without wrapping it around. Then a black band. Or if you're not using alpha band and you're using a normal Rainbow Loom band, wrap it around twice. And then taking a black band, wrap it around 4 times. And then the Alpha Loom band, twist it and wrap the other end on there. And if you're doing a normal Rainbow Loom, do 2 more loops on this side. So these 2 loops that are on my finger, I'm just gonna put it over back on the eye, and I'm gonna cover the there's like an X right there. I'm just gonna cover it with the eyelid. That's one eye. I'm gonna make the other. I'm probably gonna make it faster and not explain as much because I just explained to you how to make the eye. So there's the eyelid, and then I'm going to make the eye. So here are both the eyes. Now we're going to take a double loop peridot. You have to be very careful with this because if it snaps, then it's all coming apart. When I made Anemone, it snapped like later on, and I never fixed it, so I'm waiting for it to break. I'm hoping that doesn't break and the eyes don't come off. You can't really see it, so I'm double looping peridot, and I'm pulling all of these bands on in order. So there's the eye color, then the black, then the eye color, then the peridot, if the eye gets messed up, it's fine. You can adjust it later. So there's the, I'm adjusting it, but you can adjust it later if you want. So I'm pulling on the next eye, the 2 peridot, the eye color, the black, and then the eye color again, and then I'm taking the 2 peridot. So there's like the eyes. They might look a little bit weird. So I'm taking 2 of the loops, 2 that are on your hook, onto the 3rd peg from the top on this side, and then the 2 on your finger parallel on the other side on the 3rd peg from the top. So I'm going to separate the 2 eyes. They look really big right now, but we can adjust them later. So now I'm taking 2 of the 4 loops in the middle, and I'm going to stretch them to this second peg in the middle. Be very careful because it might snap. This is the part where Anemone's band snapped. They don't look as big and weird anymore, but let's hope they stay that way. Oh, I forgot to add on the teeth. Yeah. I'm adding on less teeth than last time because it kind of crowded the mouth, so I'm not going to add that many. So all you need to do is you can lift up these 2 holding bands, those diagonals, and then lift up these 2 diagonal bands. And so to make your tooth, take 1 white Alpha band. You can use a Rainbow Loom band, but the Alpha is better because it's way smaller. So wrapping around 3 times, and I'm lifting up these 2 loops, the double loop, and I'm going to slide on that tooth. So that's 1 tooth. I slid it on. Now I'm going to replace these 2 bands, those 2 diagonals, and then the 2 holding bands. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, so lift up the 2 holding bands there, then the 2 diagonals. I'm going to make another tooth. So wrap it around 3 times. If it's a normal Rainbow Loom, wrap it around 4 times. So slide in on that tooth, replacing these 2 diagonal bands, and then the 2 holding bands. So now we'll attach more stuff when we go on, so don't go ahead. We're going to start looming, so digging down under the cap band, looming up the top 2 diagonals. Mine are these 2, and then the next 2. Looming up those 2, and then looming up those middle 2. I'm going to loom up once more. And then on the side, I'm going to loom up twice. So looming those ones that had the teeth on it, and those. And then on this side, the same ones. Now, let me just check my prototype really quickly. I'm going to loom up 3 more times down the middle. So there's 1, there's 2, and 3. I'm going to stop. Now we're going to make the horns that go right here on the sides. So the color band that I'm using, it's called Jade, I think. Something like that. It's in the band count. It's a little darker than the Persian Peridot. I'm using this to make the horns. So taking 1 Jade, wrap it around your hook, creating 4 loops. Double loop a Jade, pull that on, double loop another Jade, pull it on, reclaim, and I'm going to take 3 Jades and pull on and reclaim. So now I'm going to take, so this is 1 horn. Go ahead and make another. I've already made my other one, so I have 2. So dig down in this, the 3rd peg where you loomed up to. So loom up those 2 loops, and then slide on the horn, and then loom over, like that. And now I'm going to do it on the opposite side with my other horn, looming it up, sliding it on, looming it over. Yeah, so now oh, sorry, I kind of spaced out. So I'm going to loom up the sides all the way. So yeah, just loom up the sides all the way down. don't loom it too hard because remember they are double loop bands, so they can snap more easily, and if they do, then it's game over. You'll have to redo that part. So, because there's not another band to back it up. So taking our fin, go to the front part with the 4-loop cap band, go down into the loops, go into the middle where we loomed up to, loom up the top 2 loops, pull them through the cap band, and loom them over. So it's like this. Now flip it over, go down into the next set, which is the Peridot, set. Go through those 4 loops, take off the tying band. Now go into the peg, loom up the top 2 loops, pull it through, and loom over. Now turn the fin over again. Go down into these 4 loops, they are the neon green. Loom up these 2 bands in here, pull them through, loom them over. Now I'm going to turn it over again, go through these 4 Peridot loops, take off the tying band, and then dig down in here, loom up these 2 bands and pull them through and loom over. So we finished looming the head and neck. I'm going to tie off these 3 ends with 3 random colored bands. Doesn't matter what color because we take them off at the end. I recommend not using the same color that you're using in your dragon because you could either get mixed up or run out of bands for use, or like stretch them out because you're just using them as tying bands. So tied off all the ends. Now really gently taking this off the loom because we don't want our bands to snap. The way that the band snapped on Anemone's face, it happened when I was taking the head off the loom. It was this right here. And luckily it didn't snap. Yay. So yeah, it didn't snap. One sec. I'm just gonna stop the video for 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, so sorry that I paused the video. I don't know if it took up time or anything, but I'm just gonna continue gently taking this off of the loom. You might be able to see it start to like form the face. Only a little bit more left. Okay, so you can do some adjusting because obviously it's going to look a little bit weird before you adjust it. So don't be scared or anything by that or surprised. For some reason it's just cold. I don't know why. So you can adjust. I'm going to adjust the horns right now. I'm going to go through the bottom loops, tug on them forward, and I'm going to tug through the top double looped loops and tug them the other way. Just adjust it in whatever way you want to do, I guess. I'm gonna pull on the snout. I'm gonna pull the snout a little bit down, but I'm not gonna take up too much time because I also need to make sure that I get in the legs and the wings in this tutorial. I need to show you how to make those too. I'm just gonna do one more tug there and there. I'll look at the fin. Yeah, should be fine. So this is what we should have so far. The head, neck, and fin. Now I'm going to show you how to make the front leg. So here's one. It has the little glow spots. So right there, 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 and there. I'm going to show you how to do that now. So you want to change your loom to the rectangular configuration. And now going with two dark greens at a time. So 2 there, there, and there. And go 2 in the middle. And you do have to make the legs symmetrical. That's pretty simple. So taking 3 bands right there and 3 here. Now I'm gonna double loop the holding bands. So double loop there and double loop there. And now I'm gonna make the foot. So taking a black band, wrap it around my hook 4 times, double loop a dark green, pull it on, reclaim. That's 1 toe. We need to make 3 more, so we have 4. So there's 2. There's 3. I just gotta make 1 more. Double loop a dark green and pull on all 4 toes. Now I'm going to take a green band, wrap it around 3 times, place that double loop. Now I'm going to make 1 more toe that goes on here, so it's the same as the others. So black, and then double looping a green, reclaim, there's the toe. Now I'm going to double loop a dark green, pull all that on. So the toe, then the double loop, then that little clump, and then the double loop, and then reclaim. So here's 1 foot. I'm going to put this on with the thumb facing down onto this peg. So now getting some of the solar green bands. I'm just going to call them solar green or the Uranus, but it's just, I like it. So taking the solar green, wrap it around 4 times, dig down, loom up these 3 bands, and then slide on that cap band. And then loom over. Make another cap band, loom up, slide on, loom over, dig down here, loom up those diagonals. If the video got stopped again, so there's the double looped holding band right here. I'm going to move that diagonally, just temporarily. So I'm taking solar green, wrap it around your hook only twice, loom up, lift up all 4 loops, and then slide it on. And replace it, lift up the top 2, and replace the holding band. Loom that over. Now I'm going to take another one, wrap it around twice, looming up this, slide it on, looming over. Going back in through it, go to this peg, loom up, slide it through, and loom over. So it's like on both of those. You can loom up this one, and then getting 1 more, wrapping around twice, looming up, lift up all 4 loops, slide that on, and then replace it. And I'm going to tie off these 2 ends. I'm taking this off of my loom. So there's 1 front leg. You can do some adjusting. I'm going to go into here and pull back with my hook to make the elbow. I'm going to go into the toes to give them, I'm going to like bend them a little. So I'm going to go through all the green double loops and tug upwards. And I'm going to pull out my hook and it should be curving a little bit. So yeah, there's the front leg. So go ahead and make another one symmetrical. So instead of all of those things that we just did being on the top, looming them over, put them on your bands before you loom it, and then you'll loom up normally. Go to any of my past tutorials if you want a better explanation. You could go to Tamarin's tutorial, I guess. It might be a better explanation, but I'm just rushing right now because I don't have that much time. So now I've taken up a lot of time already. So here's the back leg. I'm gonna make one. So 2 green bands at a time, going down 3 times in this row. 3, and then once, twice, and then a diagonal, and then 3 there, and then I'm going to do the 2 double loops, double loop there, double loop there. So now I'm going to make the back foot is a little different, so just follow me. So black, wrap around 4 times, double loop of green, pull on, reclaim. That's 1 toe, same as the first foot. Make 3 more, so you have 4. And here's my 4th toe. I'm gonna double loop a dark green, pull on all 4 toes, I'm now taking a green band, wrap it around 3 times, put those 2 loops onto there. I'm gonna double loop a dark green, pull all this on in order. Reclaim that. I'm gonna make 1 more toe. So 1, 2, 3, 4 black loops, double loop of green, pull on the black cap band and reclaim. So you have the toe here, and then you have these 4 loops. Lift up 2 of the loops and pull them over the toe so that the toe is in between. So there's 2 loops on each side. Now I'm going to take 2 dark green bands and double loop them. So I'm taking 2 and I'm double looping it on my hook like I would with 1, but I'm just doing it with 2 and sliding everything on. So it's like a thicker version of a double loop. Just a double loop with 2 bands, I guess. So there it is. I'm going to attach it onto this peg with making sure that that thumb, or whatever it's called, is facing this way, like that way. Do that on your first and second leg, no matter if it's symmetrical or not. So I'm making a cap band of the solar green, wrapping around 4 times. So I'm gonna loom up these 3 bands, slide it on, loom it over, loom up the diagonals. So now this part is the same as the front leg. So taking a band wrapped around twice, it's the solar green. These holding bands, put them diagonally, temporarily looming that up, lifting up all 4 loops, sliding on those 2 loops of solar, lifting up the top 2 loops, replacing the holding bands, looming over those 2 loops, Now taking the solar green, wrap it around twice, loom up, slide it on, loom over, going into the 2 loops, then going into this peg, looming up these 2, pull them through, loom them over, loom up these 2, and then I'm going to make 2 loops, loom up, lift up all 4 loops, slide it on. Oh, sorry if you can hear my dog in the background, he's really loud. So you've got 4 loops there, 4 loops there, and now I'm going to tie off each end, the random colored band. Gently take this off the loom. I'm not going to adjust it right now because I'm in a rush, but you can just, I'll adjust it after the video. But you can just adjust it so it looks like that. So go ahead and make another one so it's symmetrical. You'll have all 4 legs and then the head and that fin thingy. So now I'm going to show you how to make the wings. So now I'm going to be taking a lime band, which is a little bit darker than the neon green. So a lime and a solar green. So right there. So it's 2. So sorry if it cut out for the like 4th time or 3rd time or something. Yeah, and my dog's barking again. This is not going well. So doing this, I'm going down 5 times. So a lime and a solar green. So that's 4, and then 5, taking the lime green. Oh, sorry it got out of cam, but it doesn't really matter because I told you what I was doing. So I'm taking a lime, wrap it around, creating 3 loops. Now I'm going to take 2 limes, put them on that peg, 2 on that peg, 2 there and 2 there. Now I am going to make a spike. Also lift up the first 2 of those loose bands. So I'm making a claw. Take a black, wrap it around 4 times, double loop a black, and double loop a dark green. This is 1 claw. I'm going to dig down in this cap band, loom up, lift up all 4 loops, slide on the claw, replace the 4 loops, lift up the top 2, replace those 2 loose lime bands, and then put back those 2 loops. You can loom up the next set, and then this next set right here, take off those loose bands, making another claw, exactly the same. So the black cap band, I'm double looping a black, double looping a lime, and, or not a lime, I did the wrong one. You're supposed to double loop a dark green. Double loop dark green. Looming this up, lifting about 4, sliding on a spike, looming it over, lifting up the top 2 and replacing the 2 loose limes, looming up the next set, and we're going to make 1 last claw like this, and double loop the black. Make sure that you use the dark green. I forgot that last time. Loom up, lift up all 4, and slide it on. I'm going to tie off this end with a random colored band. Taking it off the loom, tug out the loose bands to the top, and make sure that they are facing an opposite way from the claws. So the claws are facing down, loose bands are facing up. Now I'm going to take my dark green bands, dark green, 2 at a time, going down 10 times. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now I'm taking my lime green, go down twice. Then go down one, that's in the middle row, and then in the bottom row go down once, and then 2 going diagonally upwards, and then 2 going downwards diagonally, and then 2 we're going down all the way to this peg. So we're going down. So just follow me if you aren't sure about anything. Stopping there, I'm going down the bottom row with lime, 2 at a time always, unless I say otherwise. Two diagonally up to the next row, 2 diagonally up to the next row, like that. And now I'm going to take 2 to go across these 3, double looping I'm going to double loop dark greens all along the top row, so I'm wrapping a dark green around all these top pegs twice. Because that's how I double loop bands, to make them neater and not hurt my fingers. So now I'm going to pull them down to the next peg. So go over here, lift up these 2 holding bands to the bottom peg, and then here you can lift up those 2, because we have a few little spots to attach. So with the Persian Peridot, wrap it around 4 times on your hook to make a cap band, lift up these 2, slide it on, make another, lift up these 2, slide it on, lift up these 2 and slide it on. Now pull those like that. And like putting the holding bands back. Now I'm going to get this little piece that I already made. I'm going to go through the bands at the edge right here, the 4 loops. These are the cap band. I'm going to put it onto this peg, and then I'm going to go through the 4 loops at the other end and take off the tying band from there. I'm going to put them onto that peg. I'm going to take these 2, pull them up, and these are going to be holding bands. Pulling them up there and there. I'm going to double loop a lime right there, and I'm going to double loop right here. I'm going to lift up the top 2 from that set we just attached, and I'm going to double loop a lime right there, and I'm going to replace them. Now I'm going to make a little claw, or it's a little bit bigger than the ones we've made. So I'm making a black cap band, wrap it around 4 times, double looping a black, pulling on the cap band, reclaiming, double looping another black, and then double looping a dark green. I'm going to put it onto this peg, and I'm going to start to loom. Follow me because we still will be attaching stuff, so looming that diagonal. I'm looming up the top row, so loom up these bottom 2. I'm looming up, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you stop at this peg, go to the next peg, lift up the holding band, put it onto the next peg just temporarily. Taking a black band wrapped around 4 times, we're making another claw, almost exactly the same as the one we just made. So double loop black, double loop another black, and now I'm going to take 2 dark green bands, pull on this claw, reclaim. So I'm going to go in here, loom up, lift up all 4 loops, slide on the claw, loom over, lift the top 2, replace the holding band, and then loom over, loom up once and twice. Now we're going to make 3 more of those spots with the Persian Peridot. So Persian Peridot wrapped around your hook, creating 4 loops, loom up, slide it on, make another, loom up, slide on, loom over, make 1 more, loom up, slide on, and loom over. Tie off the end. Now I'm gonna basically loom this all up again. So loom that diagonal, then loom up almost all the way the middle row. I'll show you where to stop. And stop right here where the diagonal and that middle row meet. Go to the bottom row where we left off at, looming up the whole bottom row, and then looming up that diagonal. Loom up the next top 2, which are diagonal, looming up the rest of the middle row, then looming up these bottom 2, and I'm going to take a lime green and the solar green, go into this second to last peg, go all the way down, grab these 2, pull them through, make it so all 4 loops are in your hook, and I'm going to tie this off with a random colored band, so there's like an extra set there. I'm going to tie off my other ends, and I'm tying off that end. So I finished the wing, and I'm going to take this off the loom. I'm not really going to take it off gently because I'm in a big rush. So I took off the wing. It may look a bit weird because the only other thing we need to add are the wing veins. I'll show you how to make one. So going into this gap under that big claw, taking 2 dark green bands, pull them through, put your hook between the second and third row, put the other side back, the other 2 loops from the other side back on your hook, take 2 more, pull them through all the bands, reclaim them back between the 3rd and 4th set on your hook, grab 1 dark green band, pull it through, go into the double loop, looped dark green, grab the other end, pull it through all, and wrap it around the spike once, or the claw once. There's 1 wing vein. You need to make 2 more. So 1 from that middle claw, the middle claw to that spike, or to that claw, and then the middle claw to this other claw. So once you make that, it will end up looking like that. So go ahead and make another wing when you're done with that. So you will end up having, you don't really need to make it symmetrical, you can just bend it the other way. By the end of this video, you should have the head, neck, and back fin, 2 wings, 2 front legs, and 2 back legs. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry that I made so many mistakes, but I'll see you in part 2 where we make the body. I hope yours is coming out well, and I hope you didn't make the same mistakes as me. Bye.